How's it going, ladies and bruisers? I'm Bobby Sixkilla. Welcome back to Corpse Factory. It's time for another victim. Twins, in fact. I'm not sure if we're killing both or just the one. I mean, we're meant to only be killing just the one, but figuring out that one is going to be a tricky endeavor, and we still don't know who's trying to kill us. But we're friends with Tomboy now. That's pretty neat. The tiny balcony jutting out from the side of the apartment is nothing like it was advertised in the real estate listing. When I first saw the misleading photos, I thought it would be spacious and bright, an open-air hideaway that I could use to get some fresh air and improve my health. I wanted to set up a tiny garden and grow some plants, nothing that would require a lot of work, but something that could occupy my spare time. In reality, the balcony is a depressing amalgamation of steel and concrete that saps away any desire to stand upon it. It rests in the eternal shadow of the surrounding buildings and manages to catch the sun's rays for about 4 minutes every day. It's an understatement to say I was disappointed when I ventured out upon it for the first time. I suppose if nothing else, it's a good vantage point for looking out over the city, but that's the only positive thing I have to say about it. As I stand here with my back against the railing, calmly sipping a lukewarm mug of green tea, I breathe a heavy sigh. I should be at the office. I should be tapping away at my keyboard, getting through the backlog of work that has accumulated this week. Instead, I'm here at home, tired and strained and wearing thin at the seams. I called in sick this morning. I don't know if my supervisor bought the lie, but he did tell me to stay home and feel better, so that's what I've been trying to do. Excuse me. It's my own fault I feel this way. It's my own fault that I stayed up until 4 AM again. I know that a lack of sleep exacerbates my condition. I know that skipping meals and refusing to take medication makes me feel this way. I know that I do this to myself. I know. But this is me. This is what I do to myself to try and take on each day. This is the way I stretch myself thin, for no reason other than because some days I don't want to be better. I just want to be. I want to stay up late and work on corpse skill requests. My its need for sleep doesn't come before my ambitions. I want to eat only when necessary because when I'm slim, I look beautiful. I want to be beautiful, just like her. I want to skip my medication because taking the same pills every day is a hassle and expensive, and I question whether I really need them anymore. If I can just stay at home like this, I don't need the medication. I even came out to the balcony. That counts as being outside. So why do I need to take the pills? It's true that when I skip a few days, I end up like this. I try to convince myself that I'm fine, that I'm fixed, like I was some broken thing that has been magically repaired, but I end up staying inside all day, with the curtains shut and my eyes locked on a screen. I know when I stay on top of my medication, I can go to work, in the park, in the library without a second thought. I can get out on the train and not worry about strangers breathing on me or touching me. I can go out to the convenience store and leisurely look around. I even went to the restaurant last week and read a book while eating dinner, and no one even tried to cut me or abduct me. And no one tried to strangle themselves in front of me in Utico. Can I really go out and do all these normal things because of some tiny pills that a doctor said I need? Or can I do these things because I'm actually better now? Maybe I was never unwell in the first place. Not irrational, just cautious, careful, concerned. I realise that my mug is empty when I bring it to my lips and taste nothing but the slightly waxy, unpleasant sensation of smudged lipstick. Well, I've been outside for long enough anyway. I'll go inside since it's getting late. Plus, I have a feeling that someone on the street below has been watching me and waiting to climb up to my balcony. Okay. I enter my apartment, set the mug aside and retreat into my bedroom. My phone is where I left it, sitting face up and begging for my undivided attention. I snatch it up, unlocking the screen. I'm greeted by the last webpage that I left open. It's my custom-made news alert for obituaries. For tomorrow morning, I'll be anxiously awaiting news of my latest victim's fate. I timestamped the photo with tomorrow's date, June 5th, 9:01 AM. The unlucky twin has already received the photo. I sent it out earlier today. After sending a photo, I always hide the burner phone out in the unused shed behind my apartment building. How does she know which twin it is? Getting the phone into the shed this morning was rather difficult. I had to cover my face with my hands and hands with some old clothes, and I waited until nobody was in sight before dashing as fast as I could. It took me a good 10 minutes to collect myself inside the shed before I could rush back to the apartment and lock the door behind me. I don't think anyone tried to follow me. However, I know that I'm going to need to retrieve the phone again tomorrow and dispose of it. I'll check for a reply from the victim, of course. Not that they ever reply. Then I'll destroy the SIM and discard the phone like I always do. It might be difficult to get out there to the shed again. On top of that, I really should go to the office. Oh, and then there's one more thing I'm supposed to do tomorrow. Kojiro wants to meet for coffee. I'm not so deluded to think that I can pull off all those escapades tomorrow in my current state. I I resign myself to reaching for the bottle of medication on my dresser. Maybe another week of taking these pills won't be so bad. They tend to increase my appetite, which is really annoying. It's a constant struggle to try and ignore the hunger that tears at my stomach. And it doesn't help that they wreak havoc on my libido. I never know what to expect. Sometimes I can look at photos of Aoi on my phone and feel absolutely nothing. Other times I can simply be scrolling through noise while standing on the train and feel an overwhelming urge to explode. I do my best to dismiss my doubts and fears, and I swallow 2 of the tiny tablets. I follow up with a sip of water from the bottle kept next to my bed, and I fight the urge to retch. I take a shower and freshen up. After that, I should curl up in the bed and read. I need to conserve my strength for tomorrow, so an early night is in order. Maybe tomorrow is the day that I'll finally be better. June 5th, Friday morning.
Where the hell were you yesterday?
Did you miss me?
Nah, just glad you haven't bit the dust yet.
That's so sweet.
Tomoe leans in close to me, almost uncomfortably so.
Listen, have you had any trouble with Corpse Girl?
No, I think I'm in the clear.
Well, I guess the time marked on the photo has long passed. Maybe you really are safe.
Yeah. Thanks, though.
Thanks for what?
For thinking of me.
Ah, shut up.
Tomoe's face is glowing red with embarrassment. Despite our differences, our interactions regarding Corpse Girl have helped us bond a little. I'm not counting on Tomoe, and I have a lasting friendship even though quiet peace might have been expecting too much. I think it's in Tomoe's nature to want to pick fights with people, regardless of whether she's close to them or not. I wouldn't be surprised if we end up quarreling again, no matter how much we learn to respect each other.
I'm at my desk if you need me, but don't bother me, you know?
She waves and leaves that cryptic statement in the air behind her. I return my attention to my computer and mark a few tasks on my list as completed. The next person to waddle up to my desk and interfere with my work is Shinya.
You weren't in yesterday?
Nope.
Are you well?
Yep.
Okay. I've been meaning to speak to you about Sato.
Yeah, we mean to apologize. We need to apologize still.
Aoi?
Yes, the thing is, I'm kind of in deep water because of her not showing up to work. And then resigning immediately.
Shit. I was supposed to talk to you about that, actually. It kind of slipped my mind.
Oh, right.
I'm sorry, Shinya. It's my fault, really. I hassled you to get Aoi a job.
No. I didn't exercise due diligence. I really should have made her come in for an interview. Or I should have spoken to her myself to see if her heart was really in it.
When you put it that way...
I'm not trying to be callous, but what he said makes sense.
Listen, you couldn't have known it, but Aoi struggles a bit day to day. I'll just say she has some anxiety issues and leave it at that.
Anxiety, huh?
Don't tell anyone I said that. I was under the impression she's been doing a lot better, but maybe I was wrong.
I guess we all have our hidden struggles, right?
Right.
If only he knew. Then again, maybe Shinya struggles too. Maybe dating Tomoe is his cry for help. Maybe he's gonna snap one day and come into the office with a knife. Or maybe he'll discover Corpse Girl's website and request Katomi Ida's death in retaliation for ending his career. Who knows? I can't read this guy as well as I initially thought. For the longest time I was under the impression that he had a crush on me. So what would I know?
Anyway, I hope Sato feels better soon. Maybe she'll find a job that suits her one day.
Maybe.
Seeing as we're friends now and all, would you mind if I ask you a, personal question?
How personal?
That depends on what it is.
It's related to, intercourse?
That's pretty personal, huh? Are we that close a friend? My face scrunches up at the word. I don't like the direction this conversation is heading.
Shouldn't this be something you talk to your girlfriend about?
Yes, you're right. But I can't actually speak to her about it. You're really the only other friend I have, so...
Shinya's face takes on a dark expression that's far more depressing than what he just said. I feel bad for the guy.
Well, what's the question?
Aww.
If, hypothetically speaking, if someone pressures you into, you know...
Sex?
His face turns red in an instant.
Yes, that. If someone pressures you into it and you really don't want to do it, What should you do?
Say no.
Say no, firmly and loudly. No one should make you do things you don't want to do.
Yes. Of course.
Duh. I mean, what other answer are you expecting? I feel that my answer didn't give Shinya the comfort he's obviously seeking.
Is Tomoe pressuring you into going all the way?
No, of course not. She would never... Never mind. It was foolish of me to bring up this topic.
Is he crying? Come on, dude. She's a pretty tough chick, you know?
I'm really sorry, Noriko. Please, forgive my lack of professionalism.
Shinya bows to me deeply, his face parallel on the floor to the floor. He quickly turns and scuttles away before I get the chance to say anything else. What was that all about? Could Tomoe be pressuring him? Wouldn't put it past her, but something doesn't feel right. She seems really smit with him. Would she really push him like that? Maybe it's her boss. Maybe it's that chick. The one who's, like, fucking his career over. Maybe she's fucking his career over because he won't fuck her. Maybe. Maybe it's guilt from not being able to prevent his career going down the toilet. But I feel like I should try and do something to help him. I watch Shinya get on the elevator, and once the double doors close, I get up from my desk and scoot over to Tomoe's workstation.
Hey, can I have a minute?
This is weird. Normally I come to bother you.
Yeah, sorry. Have you and Shinya ever gone all the way?
Huh? We've only been together for, what, a week? You think I'm some sort of slut? Hey, don't answer that! Look, not that it's your business, but... No, we haven't. Shinya's sweet. He's old-fashioned, you know. He wants to really get to know me before we go down that road. And I'm happy to wait. The last few guys I dated only ever wanted one thing from me. And that gets old real fast, you know?
Okay, I believe you.
Why are you asking me anyway? Did Shinya say something to you?
No, I was curious, that's all.
You think we're real friendly now, don't ya? Well, I don't mind some girl talk. Come talk to me anytime.
Thank you, I'll do that.
Tomoe waggles her finger in the goodbye wave and I return to my desk. If I take Tomoe at her word, which I find myself doing increasingly often, she's not trying to get Shinya to do anything he's uncomfortable with. So that can only mean one thing. Someone else is pressuring Shinya. But the guy admitted to me, only today, that his only friends are Tomoe and myself, so... Who was he talking about when he brought up the subject? That lady, the executive. It's gotta be. I'm a little worried that I haven't received a news alert from her in obituary today. My latest victim, that twin woman, had her photo timestamp set at 9:01 AM this morning. If my method worked, like it has the last few times, then she should be well and truly dead by now. She should have slit her own throat, or someone mysterious should have come along and slit it for her. It's not like I've managed to identify how Corpse Girl's power works. I'm no closer to figuring out why her victims die. All I know is that they do die, occasionally, and yet I can't find any matching obituaries for the day. I've tried searching manually too. I can't always rely on my automatic filters to get it right. I've scoured every source I can find and have come up with nothing. It's possible that she hasn't killed herself yet. It's possible that she's planning to do it. Or maybe someone else is still plotting to kill her on Corpse Girl's behalf. It's also possible that this time my victim won't die. Depressingly, that puts me back at square one. My winning streak will be over before it really begins if the corpse photo has no effect. I make a mental note to discard the burner phone when I get home. I somehow forgot to get rid of it on my way to work, being so absorbed in my strict morning routine. But it's not too late. Barely 24 hours have passed since I sent out the photo. I'm not straying too far from my modus operandi.
Yo, you came. Mad.
That familiar halting voice snaps me out of my thoughts. Kojiro stands before me, wearing slightly cleaner clothes than the last time we met. It's very possible that he interpreted this meetup as a date and decided to wear his absolute best outfit. The smell of the morgue is only faint upon him, thanks to the desperate cover-up scent of strong cologne.
Hi.
Can I sit?
Please.
Kojiro pulls up a chair and sits across from me. He's relaxed and awkward all at once. His tall, lanky form doesn't really seem to fit with the tiny, cozy cafe he selected as our meeting point.
Waiting long?
No, not really.
Great. Ordered yet?
No. What do you recommend?
House blend. Fantastic. They roast it here. Also, the chocolate gâteau is amazing. I'll order 2 slices.
Thank you, but I'm not hungry. Coffee is fine.
Roger that.
Yeah, we don't do food. The waitress eventually comes around and Kojiro places our order in fluent French. I think the waitress is taken aback, as she bows politely and humbly asks him to repeat himself in Japanese. Once our order is settled, Kojiro leans forward and looks into my eyes.
You wear glasses?
I subconsciously reach a hand toward my face to check if I'm indeed wearing glasses. Of course I'm not.
No? Why would you say that?
Kojiro leans back casually and shrugs.
Couldn't remember. Maybe you had them on last time.
Last time? Is he referring to when we met at the library?
I've never worn glasses. Sorry.
Don't be sorry. Just making conversation. This place is great, right?
It's true that the cafe possesses a quiet, comfortable atmosphere. The smell of freshly roasted coffee lingers in the air, and the display of various cakes at the front counter doesn't make me ill. I can make out the faintest sound of acoustic music in the background, with vocals in what I presume to be French. All in all, it's a nice place. Kojiro chose well.
Oh, is this place expensive? I just don't have much money, that's all.
Don't worry. It's on me. How's work? The bank, right?
I cock my head to the side. Did I ever tell him what I do for work? I don't recall saying anything on the subject.
I work at the head office for Temujin, not in an actual bank.
That's so. Huh. Read your profile wrong.
I relaxed somewhat at his explanation. Of course he would have read my noise profile before meeting up with me, that's pretty normal. I don't keep much personal information on there, but it's true that my workplace is listed. Our conversation is put on hold as the waitress returns with 2 cups of coffee and a single slice of chocolate gâteau. The cake is delicious and moist, and my stomach growls in betrayal of my convictions. Kojiro thanks the waitress in French, and she once again bows in embarrassment and takes her leave.
A bite?
He scoops up a section of the cake with his fork and holds it out to me. I wave a hand politely and shake my head.
Oh well.
He takes a bite and looks immensely satisfied with his choice of dessert.
Could eat if you wanted. You're skin and bones.
Excuse me?
Just saying. Could stand to gain some weight.
The nerve of him! Who would say that to a young woman?
I'll have you know that I eat perfectly well. Think.
Whoa. Sorry. Wasn't trying to be mean. You're gorgeous. Just saying. Some cake wouldn't hurt.
I'm gorgeous? I feel a little flushed and I look down at my phone to avoid Kojiro's warm gaze.
Try the coffee, please.
I reach for the cup in front of me, more due to the pleasant aroma than Kojiro's suggestion. I take a sip. It's been served at the perfect drinking temperature and it's absolutely delightful. Rich, delicate. I could drink this all day. I've probably been wasting my time drinking canned coffee. This is the real deal.
Thoughts?
For the first time since Kojiro arrived, I smile.
It's wonderful.
Right? I like your smile.
This guy's really laying it on thick. I didn't come here to be swooned. Still, the praise is kinda nice, even if he's just trying to play me with the oldest lines in the book. I figure I should switch the subject to encourage him to stop flirting.
So, how long have you worked in the morgue?
Well, that's a turn-off.
Wow. Good question. Okay, let's see. 34 now. Started there at 22. Damn. 12 years. Never thought about it. Shit, I'm old.
No, not at all. You're older than I expected, but really, it's no big deal.
Man, I'm even older than that. Asshole.
How old are you? Can I ask that?
13.
I don't mind. I'm 20.
Phew. Okay. Right.
Is that an issue?
No, of course not. You're mature for your age. Or I'm out of touch.
You're out of touch.
I can't help but giggle.
Wow. Okay.
He laughs it off, but I wonder if I did hit a nerve.
Would you date an older guy?
And there it is, straight to the point. How do I answer a question like that?
Good question. I've got no issue with age, but I don't really know if you're my type. And if I can be honest, there is someone I have feelings for already.
That's so. Unrequited love, huh?
Something like that.
Props can't compete with that. Well, that's okay. I mean, you're stunning. Out of my league. Thrilled to be friends if nothing else.
Friend sounds nice.
Mad.
He raises his coffee cup on a toast, then takes a sip. Maybe I had him wrong. He might be a bit more mature than I gave him credit for. If he can take rejection without pressing the point, that speaks a lot about his character.
So, corpse girl. Interesting, right? How does she do it? The photos, the killings, all without knowing the Vic's name.
Yeah.
Wonder what her death count is.
3, 4 if I'm lucky. I try not to say this aloud.
Eiichi Hanada. Car crash. Was it planned? Cut the brake line. Drugged.
I have no idea. Sorry.
But you requested his death.
That's not how it works.
Yes.
I did lead him to believe that. I'll have to continue to go along with it.
And for no personal reason?
That's right.
Brutal. Don't request my death, okay?
We'll see.
His face lights up, almost as if he's impressed with the ambiguous answer. Excited even.
Maybe I should try the site. Request a death. Know anyone who deserves it?
Sorry, not off the top of my head.
Neither. Maybe you should request me. I'm dying to know how it goes down.
You know, maybe you shouldn't mess with this stuff. What if you really ended up dead?
I can protect myself. I mainly want a corpse photo. How does she do it? Oh, by the way, you read that book I gave you?
You mean Strange Flower?
Bingo.
I'm halfway through it.
Wow, fair effort. It's long. Thoughts?
It's interesting, I won't lie.
Nobel Sinclair is a sicko, right?
Right. He's not all there.
Halfway through, huh? So, has he dined with the dead?
Yeah. Who was it? His school teacher, I think. He dug up her body 2 days after she died and then dressed her in his mother's Sunday best.
Yeah, took the corpse out for Italian. I can imagine the waiter's reaction.
Yeah, I can imagine it too. Police, please, come save me. There's a guy here with a dead body.
Classic.
Kojiro seems to really enjoy reminiscing about the book. The story is definitely interesting, but the way he's laughing at it makes me a little worried. Then again, this guy works in a morgue, so maybe the whole scenario is just comical to him. Or maybe he is Nobel Sinclair. Just saying.
Oh, that's it there.
Takes me a second to realize what he's pointing at. Sure enough, the book in question is sticking out of the top of my bag.
Pass it here. I want to show you a funny passage.
I nod and reach for the book. I pull the massive tome from my handbag with a fair amount of effort. The book comes free, but it snags the bag's zipper and causes some of the contents to fly out.
Whoa!
A few personal belongings fall to the floor with a clatter. I notice my lipstick, lip gloss, notepad, and pen hit the cafe's tiled floor. Kojiro comes around to my side of the table and helps me pick up my things. He pauses when his hands grapple with another book that has fallen underneath Strange Flower.
Fausse photographie? Eh? What's this?
I quickly reach for the book and try to snatch it from his grasp.
It's nothing.
Kojiro is quick and he instinctively avoids my desperate grasp. He holds the book aloft and continues reading the cover.
Huh. English? A comprehensive history of photo manipulation.
He returns to his seat and flips through the pages as I finish packing my belongings away. I bow my head silently, waiting for his judgment.
Yo, you can read this?
Only a little.
Oh, this is tough. My English isn't good. Thought it was French at first. Huh. These images.
Kojiro suddenly snaps the book closed and looks at me.
I figured it out.
I brace myself for his inevitable accusation.
Corpse Girl fakes the photos. The photos aren't from the future. Like that was ever possible. Photo is fake. Timestamp is fake.
He's correct, but will he go back to assuming that I'm Corpse Girl?
Hey, why do you have this book? Are you editing photos?
I mean, I have an interest in it, but that's all.
This book is old. Doubt the techniques are useful anymore. Still, it's interesting. My theory. Thoughts?
About Corpse Girl faking the photos?
Bingo.
I don't know. Sure, it's possible. But can anyone fake a photo so realistically?
Yes?
Realistically? Do you know her photos are realistic?
You sent us one of them, remember? Thinking quickly, I snap back with an answer.
You sent me that copy of Eiichi Hanada's corpse photo. The one Corpse Girl apparently produced.
True.
It was good, right? Pretty convincing.
Very convincing. Is photo manipulation that good?
I suppose if someone skilled enough was doing it.
If it's not photo manipulation, then one more theory.
What is it?
Maybe the subject in the photo is a corpse.
I'm confused. Of course it's a corpse. What's your point?
Sorry, hear me out.
Someone took a dead body and then hung it like that and pretended it was him?
It's a photo of a real corpse. Just not the victim's corpse. Corpse Girl acquires a real corpse, dresses it up, just like in Strange Flower. She makes it look like the
It's the
Vic.
obvious thing that he would jump to, since he's obsessed with that book.
It's convincing because it's real. No photo manipulation.
I see.
Immediately, my mind starts to kick into high gear. Kojiro was unknowingly presenting me with an unprecedented idea. What if Corpse Girl does get real corpses? What if she dresses them up, wounds them, makes them look like a carbon copy of the victim? Then she holds a photography session to capture the magic. That seems like it would be a lot easier to get caught out doing. The realism will be amazing. It'll be way more convincing than manipulating a photo, even though I've become pretty good at that. It'll be the next step up in realism, I'm sure, to convince victims to kill themselves. If Corpse Girl's victims can be relied upon to kill themselves, they don't have to continually question the cause of death. I wouldn't need to worry about whether some mysterious third party is wandering around slaying people on Corpse Girl's behalf. All of the deaths would be caused by suicide. It would be predictable. Conquering victims would simply be a matter of forging my convincing enough corpse replica. But the legwork involved in acquiring corpses would be, you'd have to get him to do it. That's it. The answer is sitting right in front of me, with a smudge of chocolate cake on his chin and an empty coffee cup resting in his hands.
Say, hypothetically, would it be easy for Corpse Girl to even have access to dead bodies? Legal ramifications aside, could she possibly have a source of cadavers to desecrate at will?
Yeah, it's not impossible. Take someone like me. I have the morgue. I'm there alone, mostly. Someone like Corpse Girl makes me an offer. I'd give away spare corpses, no problem. Of course, I could get busted. It's not about losing my job. I'm not going to prison. The price would have to be right, but that's just me. Employees in other morgues, well, can't speak for them.
Interesting. So you would willingly work with Corpse Girl if the price was right?
Yeah, I've said it before. Big fan. I support her work. It's fascinating. If she really is using cadavers to make photos, then, well, I'm offended she didn't come to me for help.
This is amazing. I never imagined this meeting could be so lucrative. If I want to get my hands on all the corpses I'll ever need, I just ask him here and now. I find myself breathing heavily and notice that my cheeks are warm and my head feels slightly airy. That means you have to tell him that you're Corpse Girl. It all comes down to whether or not I want to step up my game. The way things are, well, the twin woman, my latest victim, doesn't seem to have given up the ghost. Maybe I'm being impatient, or maybe my work isn't as convincing and powerful as I want it to be. Then, there are the cases of the previous victims. Akane Tsurumaki killed herself, there's no doubt about it. But Aichi Hanada, it's hardly possible his car wreck truly was accidental. I may not have had a hand in that after all. Ruri Hatsuno, my first ever conquest, the cause of her death still eludes me. There's no way she could have killed herself in the position her body was discovered in. She's the whole reason I started suspecting someone else's involvement in the first place after all. So there's one definite suicide, one potential murder, and one death that was an accident. A traffic collision that happened to coincide with the date I wanted the victim to die. Statistically, there's no way to know how Corpse Girl's power actually works. It's almost like deaths are just caused at random, and when you pile in the countless failures I've encountered over the past year, well, my success ratio isn't very impressive. If I could truly compel victims to simply kill themselves, then it would take the guesswork out of the whole thing, that's for sure. With Kojiro's help, I could acquire cadavers and make them look like my victims. The work may be completely different to photo manipulation. There'll be gore involved, no doubt about it, and it'll take a steady hand, some makeup artistry, and access to clothing props. Then there's lighting to consider and backdrops. It's one thing to take an image from the database of the deceased and have a corpse splattered on the pavement ready to go. It's an entirely different thing to have to drag a body out of the morgue and plant it in a position, then take photos of it. There'll be a lot to consider here. It's not a decision I can take lightly. And on top of that, I doubt I have the courage right now to ask Kojiro straight up for his help. But if I do go for it, I'm absolutely positive it'll lend a massive amount of credibility to Corpse Girl's mission. What is that mission, apart from becoming famous? The extraordinary realism will pave the road ahead of me with blood.
Yo, finished your coffee?
Oh,
I quickly take a sip and drain the cup.
that was delicious. Thank you for treating me.
Very welcome. Shall we head off?
Yes, let's.
Any plans for the night?
Yes, sorry I can't hang out longer.
No problem. I had fun.
Kojiro stands up and conjures his wallet. He leaves a few bills on the table and then steps toward me. I stand up too, and playing my best hand, I quickly lean forward to plant a soft kiss on his cheek. The maneuver is surprisingly difficult thanks to his height, and I don't think I'd pull it off as gracefully as I'd planned.
Oh,
Thank you for the date. Will I see you again?
I give him my best alluring look as I bat my eyelids gently.
yeah, of course.
He slowly rubs his cheek with tender fingers, amazed that I just kissed him.
Bye-bye now.
I spin around and make a beeline for the exit. It doesn't... She instantly changed her behaviour and it doesn't suit her at all. I hope my trembling legs don't betray me as I step out onto the pavement outside. It's not in my nature to try and seduce somebody for my benefit. So much so that my attempt at it has left me feeling rather queasy. I don't know if I pulled it off, but now that I've left the cafe, I can't look back to see what effect I had on Kojiro, if any. I cross the road and a shiver runs down my spine. I hope I'm prepared for what I'm getting myself into. And with that, it is time to wrap this episode up here, because we're out of time for today. We're back at the mall where the original first character we were playing as worked before she got her ass fired and then died. This should be interesting. Anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed it. Thanks for watching. Thanks for hanging out with me, and I'll see you in the next one.